Okay, hello everybody. How are you? This is John Meadows, and we are at Metro Fitness here in Columbus, Ohio today, and I have two special guests. Jamie Pinder is with us, and we also have Derik Oslan, who is your reigning light heavyweight national champion, young stud. So I had to keep up with Jamie and this young man today, and they beat up on me, and they didn't have any mercy on me. So we did some arms and shoulders today, and we started off with just a good old-fashioned easy bar curl. Really the only thing you might notice in the video that's probably not common is when we curl, we get to the contracted part of the movement, you'll see us kind of raise the barbell up just a little bit at the end. Your bicep does have some responsibility for contracting in that position as well. A lot of people think it's all anterior delt, but actually the short head of your bicep functions there too. So you get a really, really nice contraction. And the last set was a beauty. That was a fun one. We worked to failure, and then we did partial reps, where we just worked the bottom of the movement. Now, I would only do that if we had blood in our biceps. They were nice and warmed up. And at that point, they were very warmed up. We then proceeded to one of my old favorites, spider curls. I used to do these back in the mid-90s at John Perillo's facility in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've always liked spider curls. If you'll notice on these two, we also took the bar behind our head just to get that little extra contraction. It almost looks like you would lose tension, but you really don't. If you're holding the bar and actually squeezing, it adds a little bit of intensity to it. And we were just taking these sets to failure. Some of them we were doing a few forced reps on top as well. And at this point, 3 sets of the easy bar curls and 3 sets of these spider curls, that 6 sets felt like 20 sets. One more. One more. Hold it right there. Come on. Yeah. Good job. Come on. And then we moved on to hammer curls. You can never forget hammer curls, right? You got to develop your brachialis. As that develops, it pushes your bicep and tricep out from each other, gives your arm a wider look. It's a show muscle, it's a pretty muscle, right? So we knocked out some hammer curls. The last set was a drop set. What you'll notice in a lot of the training I do is you save the hardest set for the last set. And typically we'll do 3 working sets. So you'll see 2 hard sets once we're warmed up, and then the last set we might add partials, or you'll see an iso hold here and there, you'll see some force reps. Those type of sets are always on the 3rd set before we move on to the next exercise. You know, when you beat up a muscle enough and it's done, it's done. You don't need to keep doing set after set, high intensity technique after high intensity technique, you just move on. So then we went on the triceps, where we just did a basic push down and a dip. Actually, we have this little unique piece of equipment here where you can prop your legs up and do a dip. And what you don't see in the video is we did a whole lot of warm-up sets to make sure our elbows were nice and warmed up. But we did a push down where we're driving our hands straight down. Notice they weren't coming back toward our waist, they're going straight down. Keep tension on the tricep, and then we went straight over to that little dip apparatus. So we were doing those back to back. And then once they were filled full of blood, our elbows were nice and warmed up, we went over to the Nautilus pullover machine. That's another one of my favorite machines. But today we didn't actually do a Nautilus pullover. We actually used it a little more creatively as a tricep extension. And the noticeable thing on here is look at the nice stretch we're getting. We're pausing in the stretch position, really opening that muscle belly up, making it work hard. And again, we've already done so much work. Your elbows are warmed up, so it's not like you're starting with skull crushers and you're beating your elbows up. At this point, everything's nice and greased up, as I like to say. Just like with biceps, we did basically, once we were warmed up, 3 really hard working sets for the tricep work as well. That was it for arms, and they were just smoked. And there's a really cool machine here, and I can never leave the gym until I use it, so we just decided to throw in some shoulders as well. It's a side lateral machine. You'll see in the video. You can tilt down a little bit, engage your rear delts, you can stand up straight, hit your side delts. Just a really cool machine. So we kind of lost count on those. I bet we did 6 or 7 sets of those. Just really, really cool machine. And then we finished with a band exercise, not really a face pull, it's a rear delt pull. The thing I would draw your attention to is look at our hand position. We actually have a pronated grip, which is a little different. And also look how I'm reaching forward, and I'm not in my scapula, they're not in a contracted position. I'm reaching forward, I'm really pivoting with my rear delt. That's kind of the key to isolating your rear delt. Push your arms forward and then really pivot with your rear delt. So we busted out a few sets of those. At that point, we had a good pace, and this was a 90-minute workout actually. So bis and tris and shoulders, that's it, and we'll talk to you next time.